For showing up. Today, I'm going to talk about how you can become a successful Forex trader in 2021 and beyond. And I'm going to quickly go over 3 proven strategies that we've used here for many years to help get you there. First off, my name's Kim Krompass, and I want to welcome you and thank you for taking the time out of your morning or afternoon to watch this presentation. I'm going to walk through and talk through a couple important ideas with one simple goal, and that's to completely change the way you look at Forex trading in particular, since that's what I specialize in, how to look at the Forex markets and how to make more money. I'm going to also show you why our method works so well for a lot of Forex traders and how it can work for you too. So let's go ahead and get started. If you're new to Forex or you've been trading for a while and maybe you've never quite made it or made enough money, or you're just downright frustrated with all the time and money you've spent, I can relate to that. You and you still can't make money, then I want to plan on your time. I know it's valuable, that it will be worth it at the end of this presentation. So just a quick disclaimer. This took me years and thousands of dollars in losses before I figured out, actually hundreds of thousands in losses before I figured out how to be consistently profitable as a Forex trader. I want to be level with you. Trading and making good money is very real and it's very possible. Um, and while I know this course can change the way you look at the markets, it won't allow you to replicate my exact success overnight. Now, if you've been trading for more than 20 years, you might be able to do it, and you might be able to do it very quickly. All right. So, why should you listen to me? You might be asking yourself this. I know that if I were in your shoes, I would be asking, why should I listen to her? You may know me or you may not know me. So who am I? Who is Kim Krompass? Some of you may recognize my voice from podcasts or uh, YouTube videos. Some of you may know me from trading groups. Some of you may know me from past forums or trainings that I've done in the way, way past. And some of you have no idea who the heck I am. So who am I? I'm just going to go into this very quickly. I've been trading for over 20 years now, going on 21. I've created small fortunes both as a business owner and as a trader. I've lost those fortunes and I've rebuilt them. I've been a Forex trainer and a coach since 2005. So I'm going on my 16th year of doing that. And I founded the Price Action Traders Institute for Forex traders specifically in 2012. And PATI is our acronym for, it stands for Price Action Traders Institute. I'm sure you've all figured that out. And then a little side note, I am a California CPA, certified public accountant, for those of you that don't know that acronym. I am not currently practicing. I have not practiced for many years, but I'm happy to pay the state of California my money each year to keep my license active in the state. So I have a comeback story that I think is important so that I can lay the groundwork for you, because my comeback story as a trader is, and the seeds for what would become known as the Price Action Traders Institute, took place here in the beautiful California wine country, Napa Valley, where I currently live. At the time, I was living in San Francisco, and I was gifted a weekend getaway at this beautiful hotel, Yountville Spa and Resort. And if you're not familiar with the wine country, if you don't know what Yountville is, it's the home of the world famous French Laundry 5-star Michelin restaurant and the Bouchon Bakery. And it's just a beautiful area for relaxation, wine tasting, eating good food at good restaurants, and just having a great community. In fact, with coronavirus, we just opened up last weekend in the wine country, and it was so nice to see actual people, lots of them, out drinking wine and enjoying the beautiful weather that we're having right now in the wine country. So at that time, I had walked away from trading and I didn't look at a chart for 6 months. I completely disengaged from the trading community completely. And this was after I had these big losses. So, like a lot of people who suffer big losses, I retreated. Maybe you've experienced that. And I thought, you know what? I'm never going to be able to trade again. Whoops, let me back her up. I'll never be able to trade again. But something nagged at me because, um, you can fail, but people often get back up. And this actually wasn't the first time I had failed in my life. In other words, it wasn't my first rodeo. So maybe some of you can picture this moment that I'm about to talk about. I'm away at this beautiful spa in the wine country, and I start to think about all the things I loved about trading. So I got out a notepad and I wrote them all down. I wrote down on one side of the notebook, I wrote down all the things I loved about trading. And then on the other side, I wrote all the things I hated because there were a lot of things I despised about trading. And after doing this little kind of seems meaningless exercise, I actually had a sudden burst of excitement because when I was done with that, I knew that if I could just go back to the basics of trading and work on my mindset, I would have a good shot at being successful again at trading. Now, I'm a driven person. Maybe some of you listening are you can relate to that. You're driven too. And maybe some of you, you're not that way, and that's okay. But I realized that no one in my field in Forex training was teaching how to use a simple price action method to trade. And so for me, it was really obvious. The first thing I did when I got home was I deleted all the online trading courses I had purchased, along with all the PDFs, the indicators, and I just started with a blank chart. It's like I wiped the slate clean, if you will. I could clearly see price action. And knowing that all this time I had spent, all these years, it was buried right there under all the indicators, the trend lines, the pivot points, the moving averages. And you know what? I felt really motivated to trade again. Let me ask you this. Have any of you listening felt like this? You're overwhelmed with unnecessary and complicated financial information, or you're taking trading advice from marketers, not traders, or feeling that you just can't shake the fog or wake up from the fog of trading confusion that you seem to operate in when you look at a chart. Well, I did. And that spa trip, like I said, I came home and I cleaned house. I went on a mission. I wanted to find out what would work for me. And also, if I could help other traders do what I was doing. So, trading had become so complicated for me, and it was puffed up by a lot of marketers. In fact, just yesterday, I saw on Twitter some a guy who has a podcast for traders who charges to listen to his podcast, and he was promoting a podcast he had done with some guy who calls himself the pajama billionaire and said trading is one of the simplest things you will ever do in your lives. And I thought, this is hype. And this is one of the things I can't stand about some trading marketers, really. They're not traders, because if anyone who's really a trader knows, it is not the simplest thing, nor is it the easiest. So how many of you in here have experienced how complicated it can get at times? So, as you know, and I mentioned, I'm a CPA, and because I'm a CPA, I naturally think in a very organized way. And yes, I know, God forbid, the markets are anything but organized. In fact, they're so chaotic, right? But I was determined to use the skills I had as a CPA and bring some kind of organization and structure to how I could look at the randomness of a market and trade it with a high level of confidence. I knew that if I could create structure in a method or in a process, I could use it in my own trading, and others might want to do the same. And that became the foundation for creating the Price Action Traders Institute and the PADI method. For the next 3 years, I completely re-engineered how I traded, and it paid off in a very big way. So for 3 years, I worked on this behind the scenes. And for the first time in 8 years of trading, I felt free and I was making good money again. Not to mention my stress levels had dropped dramatically and I was sleeping like a baby. So here's just a few of the important elements to the PADI method. It works with small and large accounts. So you don't need a huge account. Obviously, the more money you have, the more cushion you'll have for drawdowns, and not only financial drawdowns, but psychological drawdowns. It's really quite simple. Anyone can learn the method. In fact, we have some people in our group that have taught their teenage kids, college age kids even, to trade this method, and they love it. It requires that you use tight stops. There's no more hanging on to a trade or letting a trade breathe. How many of you have been taught that or heard that? Just let it breathe. All trade planning, executing your trade, and managing is done on one time frame. So we only look at one time frame. We look at the 15-minute time frame. We don't jump around time frames, and there's a very specific reason for that. It's price action based. There's no indicators, there's no chart patterns, there's no algos, there's no robots, there's no any of that. And the best part, all trades have to be closed at the end of each session. So what is the Price Action Traders Institute actually? So we know what it does, but it's this community of enthusiastic, supportive, and success-driven Forex traders. In fact, if you follow us on Twitter, you'll see that we have London and New York. I handle New York, an active group of traders. We trade every day with our traders. So we plan with them and then we trade with them. So we train and mentor all levels of Forex traders, especially beginners. And we have what's called the Patty membership. It's our premier service. It was started in 2012 when I started the Price Action Traders Institute. And it's essentially live London and New York sessions, trade planning groups. And then we came out with Command Your Trading, which came out in 2019. And it's a complete online training course for beginners and experienced Forex traders. Here's what a couple of our students have said about our training and our trading method. So I don't want you to take it from me. I know I can be a little biased, but there are a lot of people who have a lot of good things to say about us. And David over here on the left, he's been trading for 5 years and he's gone all over the map. I've talked to this guy. He couldn't find consistency until he found our group. And then Rich, who's one of my favorite stories. Rich has been trading probably as long as I have, lives on the East Coast. And Rich has spent thousands on education and software over the years. And he says nothing compares to the education and mentorship he's gotten from me. And he's finally making money. And the thing about Rich is he's gone on now. He trades with a prop firm. He's still an active member. He shows up every day for all the planning sessions and he follows what we do every day for New York. He trades a New York session with me. So let's get into the key strategies to get you into a position for profitable trading this year in 2021 and going forward. If you're new, you're going to find this one of the best places to begin your trading education. And if you're experienced and you've been suffering from losses and you just can't get your foothold or feel like you can't, this hopefully will help you turn it around in a very short period of time. So the first one is we want to use tight stops and low leverage. It will help you become a more profitable trader simply by making this one little shift and quickly and easily plan your trades in 20 seconds or less. You'll know what to do and exactly when to do it. In fact, it's probably more like 10 seconds. And then third, develop the mindset of a confident trader simply by letting go of your indicators. Now, I know that might be blasphemy to some of you, and that's okay. I'm not asking you to commit to all these things, but these are the 3 things that we have found over the years of doing this that really propel traders into success quickly. So strategy number 1 is using tight stops and low leverage to become more profitable. You might be asking yourself, well, heck, I mean, really, how's tight stops going to help me make more money, Kim? And that's a great question. So the first thing is knowledge. When you know the downside or the threats in trading and you proactively mitigate them, you drastically reduce being blindsided or potentially suffering heavy losses. So there's many instances there. You can see there's a sudden, like we had an emergency cut in basis points one time and it blew all the markets up. And if you don't know exactly where your stop goes or you play with your stops, this could be devastating to your account. Fear about the future is reduced because you're going to know exactly when a trade won't work and what you can do about it, because we teach you also not only what happens when you get stopped out, but what to do about it. Are there re-entry options when you can take advantage of those? And then 3, you never have to worry about where to place your stop loss again. This is a huge confidence builder. And the reason why is because many traders will wonder, okay, so where should my stop go? Should it be at this support and resistance level? Well, where should it be? Should it be at the one yesterday? Should it be at the support and resistance on the 4-hour chart, on the 1-hour chart? Where should it be? So the way we teach you to place your stops, and it's not really place, it's using a numerical value that changes the game for many traders. There's 3 types of trading risk. So we have to talk about risk when we're talking about stops. And knowing how these all work together helps fuel your trading success. And those are emotional risk, market risk, and trade risk. And many of you who've been around trading, you should know these, and you probably do know them. But if you're new, these are the 3 key risks that every trader has to worry about. And emotional risk, I like to think of it this way. It's like being on this roller coaster, right? You can get excited and then you start incurring losses and you go into, oh man, this is really hard. Then you start to recover. Oh yeah, this is working great for me. Then you dip down again and you're worried. You become stressed. Oh, this is going to bankrupt me. Then you come up a little bit higher than this peak you were at before, and you say, yeah, I don't know why I get so down on myself. I'm good. Then you suffer more losses. You suck at this. Wait a second, this isn't bad after all. And it's just this continual risk thing that you're on. Emotional risk is 100% under our control. Okay, that's the thing about it. Now, most people don't think they have their emotions under their control. They think it's some outside event, consequence, another person, an experience that drives your emotions. And really, it's you. The feelings we have, the thoughts we have, the reactions we have are completely under our control. The thing is, with a lot of people, including traders, they don't want to think or talk about their emotions because they believe that if they talk about them, it's only going to get worse. And that could not be further from the truth. It's been estimated that over 90% of traders fail due to their own psychology or their own mindset. In fact, it's been shown and proven that our mind is actually where most of our trading occurs. And the more you know yourself and understand your motivations, in other words, why you do the things you do, the more in control you will feel both as a person and with your trading. So if you are the type of trader who makes a commitment to yourself that you're not going to take more than 20 points loss, and you find yourself taking a 50-point loss and you say, man, I don't know why I just did that. I just told myself I wasn't going to. So the more you can dig into your mindset and understand your motivations, whether it's through therapy or working with a trading coach, you have to somehow figure out why you do the things you do and why you act against your own self-interest. So why do you think there are a lot of good coaches out there and famous books written about how our emotions inform our behavior? Because without knowing how we feel in any moment, we're doomed to repeat behavior that we otherwise might want to change. And then there's market risk, the second type. Market risk is always 100% out of our control. So remember, emotional risk, 100% we control. Market risk is really tough for any trader to grasp. It's tough as humans because we want to believe that we can control our environment or people or situations. And in the case of the market, we want to believe that we can control or dominate the market with our strategies or with our indicators. In fact, there's an entire industry built around analysts making predictions about what the markets will do next. Analysts, though, are not traders. And the truth is, we never know. We have zero control over what the market does, nor can we possibly know the outcome of any trade ever. However, traders are sometimes led into believing that they can predict what a market will do with an indicator or a set of indicators. And after 20 years in the market, it's not true. It's not true for me. And I've seen it not be true for many of the traders that come through my doors. In fact, I would stake my reputation on this statement because I've used and tried most indicators out there in the early days, and I use none of them now. If you believe you or your strategies can predict what a market will do or won't do, it will become a great source of pain, I can promise you. So the sooner you get this lesson and you really take it in and you understand that you have no control, it will help you immensely becoming a more successful trader. And then the last risk is trade risk. And trade risk, this is under our control 100%, just like our emotions. So trade risk is like emotional risk. We're the judge and jury when it comes to our losses and to our wins. We determine exactly how much money we're willing to lose and make on every one of our trades. Have you ever moved your stops or traded without stops? I know traders who do. Or some go to bed thinking and hoping, praying that they're going to wake up to a miracle. Know that each one of you, each one of us, I decide how much money I'm willing to lose and how much I'm willing to make, period. So we've got emotional risk and trade risk completely under our control. Market risk, we cannot control. What the market does, no one knows. So the number one way we teach traders how to reduce risk in order to maximize a trade's profitability is through proper position sizing and using a tight stop. And we don't recommend using more than 1% max risk on any one trade. So here's what some PADI members have said about using tight stops, because I think, I can talk on and on about it, but I think it's important to hear from people who actually have implemented the method and use our tight stop recommendation. And on the left, you can see basically he's saying it's a beautiful way to trade. And on the right is another tweet, and it says tight stops really change the game. And here's Robin. Robin has been around PADI since its inception also, and he is also a prop trader now. And he's been trading for as long as I have. And he said, Kim's method is the only method that's really drummed into me the importance of a proven method and tight stop losses. This was a complete change in direction for me, and he's finally profitable after 18 years. And we just did an interview with Robin in the membership. And so that recording is available in the members area. And Robin gets into his journey, his past, his experience. And he talks about how he's trading now for a prop firm. Strategy number 2. So it's time to get on to this right now, and how to quickly and easily plan your trades in 20 seconds or less. Do you, or have you ever felt like this guy when you look at a chart? You sit down, you look at a chart, and you got all these numbers and things flying in front of you, and you're trying to come up with the trade plan. And this is actually how 90% of traders feel when they sit down and start looking at their charts to come up with the trade plan. They've got this information overload coming at them. And it's almost as if they're staring into the matrix, not really knowing where to begin or what to do. And for a lot of people, a lot of traders, this is their reality. And after this, hopefully it won't be you. So what's the benefits of using such a high speed 20-second trade plan? Well, you don't have to spend hours looking at charts to identify a trade. You can use it on any currency and other markets. Like we have traders that use it on gold, silver, and the DAX, for instance. And the plan tells traders exactly where and when to place a trade. And I personally guarantee you'll never look at a chart the same way again once you learn this. So why do PADI traders love the 20-second trade plan? It's simple. You don't have to use indicators or patterns. There's no software required. You don't have to keep a fancy spreadsheet. It can be used on any currency pair and anyone can do it. In fact, I guarantee if you learn it, you'll love it too. Here's what one of our members said, who is still a member, even though this tweet's from 2018. He was responding to someone who had just joined. And he said, "You came to the right place, brother. It's so easy to follow. You'll start questioning if trading could really be simplified this much." And you might be thinking, yeah, okay, this sounds really good, but will it work for you? Will it work for me? Let's look at what it looks like. I'm not going to walk you through all the details. That's done in the course, but I just want you to see how simple our charts look. It took 20 seconds to plan this trade, to identify it, and it hit its profit target. Now, of course, there's going to be losses, and I could show you losses, but I do that on YouTube. This trade only took us 20 seconds to identify, and it too hit its goal. The point is, I want you to see how clean the charts are and how once you learn the method, it's very easy to identify these trades. Like I said, it probably takes 10 seconds. It's simple, it's repeatable, and it's profitable. And yes, there are losses. It took us only 20 seconds to plan this trade. And this trade also hit its target. So my question is, can you see yourself doing this every time you sit down to trade, taking only 20 seconds? If you're new, it might take you 30. But if you're experienced, it might take you 10 or 5 seconds to identify the trades. I mean, that's how quick it can be done. We have many members that do it very fast. I do it in the planning session. And sometimes planning sessions are very quick. They're high speed. They're not meant to overanalyze the markets because that would defeat the purpose of our method. So it's simple and it works, and it can work for you. In fact, Ray, who's been a long-term trader also and a long-term Patty member, says, "I see a chart and see something completely different than before." And that's the point of the 20-second plan. I want you to see price action in a whole new light. So strategy number 3. So we've gone through number 1, we've gone through number 3, and number 3 is ditching your indicators will place you at an unfair advantage over other traders. And you might ask, well, like, how can that be? How can ditching my indicators place me at an unfair advantage? So let's look at some of the indicators. Maybe you or traders you know have spent countless hours on the weeknights, weekdays, weekends, trying to learn how to use these indicators, reading about the history of the guy or the firm that created the indicator, how to adjust and tweak them, how to apply different versions of them on different time frames. And honestly, just talking about all these different things gives me a headache. And our point in our group is we make it all stop. I saw this chart on Twitter, and it amplifies what I'm talking about. Like, what do you see when you look at this? I thought, is this person on an acid trip? I know I'm dating myself now, using that kind of language. Chaos. Where's price buried? And some of you may say, well, I see exactly what's going on. Well, here's what Mark Douglas has to say about indicators. And if you've been around trading, you know who Mark Douglas is. He's the preeminent person on trader's mindset, trader psychology. He wrote the first books on this specific area for traders. And he asked in one of his many seminars that he had done, he's no longer with us, but he asked them an important question, which I think sums up kind of what I feel about indicators. And why do traders gravitate towards indicators? And his answer was because they are trying to avoid losses. Most traders don't put on a trade until they have convinced themselves the trade will work. The typical trader does not really accept the risk of trading. Only the very best traders accept the risk. And what he meant by that is that market risk we talked about, where we said that was number 2, right? The 3 types of risk. Market risk. We never know what the market's going to do. So you can put all the indicators you want on a chart, but it's really, it's used as an emotional crutch. And I can say this because I did it in the past. It's used to give you what some traders will call confirmation. Well, if my MACD crosses here when the moon is full and the rivers are about to overflow, then this trade should go long. All right. And I'm not, I know there's a purpose. Some of you use indicators, and that's fine. but I just want you to think about it for a second and ask yourself, why am I using these? So Tom Willis, who's also a pit trader, or was a pit trader, I should say, and who was Richard Dennis's colleague, who was one of the Turtle Trader founders. And he said traders in today's environment see rapid success when they use price action strategies. And again, I would only ask you to give up your indicators if you want to wake up excited to trade like we do. Free up your weeknights or weekdays and your weekends, and you feel more confident when you plan a trade because it just reinforces that, hey, I don't really know what the market's going to do. And then know exactly what to do and when to do it when you look at your charts. So you gain clarity, you reduce decision fatigue, and you eliminate having to study these things called indicators, and you can start simplifying your trading. Here's LP. She gave up indicators after 6 years of failing with them, and she started making money once she ditched them because she gave up that hold that she had in her mind about having to know what the market would do. And on this one, over 1,500 traders have joined Patty and have removed their indicators. Some of them, it takes them a while. And I always encourage them to slowly let them go. It's like giving up your crutches, one crutch at a time, and starting to walk on your own legs. Okay. And they've started to love trading. And how do I know this? They send me emails, they send me tweets. And once you do this, you'll wonder, what took me so long? Let's do a quick recap of the 3 strategies. So strategy number 1 was using tight stops, combine it with low leverage. Remember, no more than 1% is a game changer for a lot of Forex traders. Strategy number 2, use a 20-second trade planning process, or a very simple process. Every time you sit down to trade, has the benefit of completely changing how you look at any chart, and it puts you in an ideal position to know exactly what to do and when to do it. And then strategy number 3, ditching your indicators puts you at an unfair advantage over other traders simply because you no longer be bogged down by having to use them. I'm trying to keep this short, so I want to say thank you for listening. I hope I've inspired or motivated some of you to think differently about Forex trading. And David and Anka asked me to put together a special package just for this group to take advantage of some of the things that we talked about today, and of course, to get deeper into them. And today's package is going to include complete access to our, let me back up, complete access to our Command Your Trading online course and 2 free months in the Patty's membership. So this special offer, Command Your Trading course, regularly $9.97. If you go to the website right now, that's what it's listed as. And the Patty membership right now is $197 a month. And we're putting together a package just for attendees for $349. You'll save over $1,000 if you purchase this package today. And you can go to our website at priceactiontradersinstitute.com/women traders. You can also just go to our website and browse around if you want to read more about me, or look at some of our other videos, or look at the membership in detail, or look at the Command Your Trading course in detail. You can certainly do that. My training was designed to give you the confidence you need to be successful quickly. Let's look inside just very quickly. Inside the Command Your Trading course, this is the beginner's course. And there's 6 modules in this course, and you can see them briefly outlined here on the page that we have for you, women traders. You can look at this in more detail and see exactly what's in this course that you'll get. And here's the main course. So once you've either gone through the beginner's course, if you're a beginner, you level up to the main course where we get into the meat of everything that we teach you. And if you're an experienced trader, you can bypass the beginner's course and just jump right into the main course, which has 10 modules in it. So again, in the course, you get the beginner's course for traders who are brand new to Forex or brand new just to trading. It's very hands-on. It will get you set up and even open an account. You'll look over my shoulder, so to say, and we'll open an account together. We'll do everything a beginner needs to do to feel comfortable to actually go into the main course and become familiar with the entire method. All right. So you get a lot of things in this course to get you set up, or if you're already experienced. Let's talk about 2 months free in the Patty membership. So the Patty membership is the hands-on part of this, where you get a chance to listen to me or Kevin, my London session strategist, do live trade planning sessions. And we do those 3 days a week, 3 mornings a week. So 7:30 a.m. London, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 6 a.m., 9 a.m. Eastern for the New York planning session, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with me. You can attend all of those sessions. We have many traders who live in the UK and Europe who attend both the London and the New York session. Everything's recorded. You can see over here, there's a section inside the members area for all the trade planning sessions by New York or London. So if you miss something or you want to go back and listen to a trade plan, you can do that. Everything is recorded. We have 2 to 3 live member Q&A sessions on Wednesdays of every month. So this is a chance where we actually show you, we evaluate our trade plans in some of those. We say, let's put your money where your mouth is. We also do members Q&A because there's always questions traders have. You'll have access to a vast library of over 100 plus training sessions. And of course, we give really great email support along the way. Nothing goes unanswered for typically longer than 24 hours. And it's a great community of traders just like you. We go out on Twitter together after the session, and you can pretty much follow along as to what we're trading. Do we give trade signals? No, we don't do that. All right, so over here on the left-hand side, for instance, these are the members Q&A webinars that are recorded also. So if you can't make those sessions on Wednesday, you can either submit a question via email or you can show up and type them in the chat. And next week, we're having a guest, one of our members, Ryan, who's going to be interviewed by another member. We've been doing these once a month, and they're great because traders get to hear from their peers instead of just hearing from me all the time. All right. And then there's special sections like trader psychology. There's webinars in this section that you can look at and view. All right. So there's a lot here in the members area. You'll get 2 months free in the Patty membership if you join us today. All right. So again, if you decide you want to become part of this, you get Command Your Forex Trading online course, lifetime access, plus 2 months free in the Patty membership. And again, you save over $1,000 and it's only $349. And you can get this if you go to priceactiontradersinstitute.com/women traders. And if you have any questions, please hit the contact form on the website and I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. So thank you for attending the workshop. I know you have a lot of things on your mind and a lot of things you could be doing with this time. So I appreciate those of you that were able to show up, and anyone listening to the recording, thank you for listening. And I really look forward to seeing some of you in the planning sessions and working with you as Forex traders. All right. So thank you, David. Thank you.